What's going on, everyone? Happy Monday to everyone. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. And if you're on the West Coast, hopefully you are staying safe during this long rotation atmospheric river. It is time now for the Monday edition of the Climate Update for Monday, February 5th, 2024. If you're new to my channel, this is where we do the daily weather update. We talk about all things climate and extreme weather, not just in the United States, but around the world. Today, we will focus on what is going on in the United States, talking about a potential for a pattern change mid-month, and of course the ongoing storm out in the west. Take a look at this water vapor imagery that you see here, this infrared satellite. The moisture here is what I'm trying to get at. Look at the moisture that is just continuously streaming over Southern California, over Los Angeles, and now starting to come into the area of San Diego. This is an extreme storm that continues to be ongoing. Now taking a look at this, you can see flooding. It's starting to become an issue, and it's causing debris flows and mudslides in portions of California, this being in the greater Los Angeles area. So this is not something that we like to see. Now taking a look at this, here's some rainfall totals so far. Stone Canyon Reservoir, 9.37 inches. Malibu Canyon, 8.33 inches so far. Porter Ranch, just over 8 inches so far. Mount Wilson, almost nearly 9 inches of rainfall for you. Santa Fe Dam, just over 5 3/4 of an inch of rainfall. Mount Baldy, over 6.79 inches of rain so far. And Diamond Bar already has 6 inches of rain. So yes, there has been a lot of rain, and it is going to continue to rain. Taking a look at the national satellite picture, we still have this storm system in the southeast U.S. that is eventually going to exit off the southeast coast. It's not going to have the impact that it once could have per modeling, and it is eventually going to exit off the southeast coast tonight. You can see here the atmospheric river, which I was just talking about, it continues out in the west coast at this time. You can see moisture just continues to stream right into southern California. Taking a look at the radar, you can see here, Los Angeles area, you are still dealing with moderate to heavy rainfall. Look at this heavy band that's just off the shore that's getting ready to come on. Yes, you have a lot more rain coming. Central and Northern California, still some showers and rain for you as well. Taking a look at the national hazards map, you can see the majority of the activity is on the west coast. The rest of the country is fairly quiet at this time, and it's going to stay that way. It's going to stay up until about the middle of the week, where all the activity is going to be on the west coast. Flood watches, winter storm warnings, all continuing in the west coast. Taking a look now at the WPC excessive rainfall forecast, there's still a high risk of excessive rainfall in Southern California, so more flooding is going to occur, and there's also a slight risk now for tomorrow as well. Let's take a look at the days 1 through 7 precipitation total. You can see Southwest California is going to continue to get very heavy rainfall. Additional 2 to 4, maybe even 3 to 5 inches of rainfall is expected. Then you see, take a look at this in the south. Yes, this is for later in the week. There could be a round of some heavier rainfall, maybe even a threat of severe weather. So that is something we will have to watch for later in the week. Taking a look at the key messages from the Weather Prediction Center, and you can see here on this map here, you can see in the higher elevations, we're still looking at another 12 to 18 inches, isolated 18 to 24 inches of additional snowfall, and they're talking about additional rainfall amounts of 1 to 3 inches, with locally 3 to 6 inches possible in parts of Southern California. And this goes in through tomorrow, and there'll even be some showers on Wednesday as well. Taking a look now at the latest from the Storm Prediction Center, you can see there are no threats of severe weather over the next 3 days. However, I do have to show you yesterday, there were some reported tornadoes in northern Florida and portions of southern Georgia. As we thought would happen, there would be a couple isolated tornadoes around the north, east, and eastern side of that area of low pressure, and that did end up happening. Now let's take a look at the latest modeling for the next several days into the later part of the week. We'll start with the HRRR model. You can see the latest HRRR model does show that the atmospheric river of moisture is going to continue in Southern California. You can also see as we head into tonight, that area of low pressure developing east of Florida is eventually going to push further to the east, and any shower activity should be ending with that. Now we're taking a look at tomorrow, and look at this. The HRRR model for tomorrow continues to show shower activity for much of California. Even snow shower activity continuing in the mountains east of Las Vegas in Nevada. You're still going to see some showers as well, and maybe even Las Vegas as well. And once you get into the Four Corners region, some snowfall is expected for you tomorrow. And take a look at this. Wednesday, more showers moving into California. Now let's take a look at the latest 12Z NAM, and let me rewind this and take a look at the NAM. Similar deal. The storm system exits off the southeast coast. The rest of the country is very quiet aside from the west coast. You can see not much happening in the east. Temperatures are going to be slightly above average. This storm system eventually will move to the north. And you can see here, it does develop an area of low pressure in the northern plains where you could see some snowfall on the northwest side of this system. Taking a look now at the latest GFS model, we'll take a look at the longer range, and you can see precipitation will continue on the west coast, but look what happens here. This develops that low pressure system in the northern plains just to the northwest of the Great Lakes. Ahead of that, a ridge is going to form. That's going to pump in some warm air. Let's take a look at temperatures on the GFS, and you can see here, as we head into Friday, across Texas, even all the way up into Missouri, low to mid 60s are definitely possible. Southern Texas, upper 70s. Take a look as we head into Saturday as well. You can see another warm day on Saturday. I-95 corridor up to about Trenton, New Jersey. Temperatures may get into the 60s. However, I want to draw your attention to something. You do see here a system starts to develop in the south on Saturday. There's some discrepancy in the models as to where that system is going to set up. You can see the GFS is more south with this system. However, when we go over to let's go to the European. When we go over to the European model, watch what happens here. Then we'll take a look at long-range temperatures. And you can see on the European, take a look at this. We're now headed in the middle of the week. We're headed into late week into the weekend now. European develops a fairly strong area of low pressure that heads up into the Great Lakes region. Ahead of that, yes, this is the threat of severe weather and maybe a flash flood threat as well. As you saw from the Weather Prediction Center, they are going with fairly high precipitation chances in the south. But the main thing that we're concerned about is if this low does develop like the European is showing, yes, there would be snow on the northwest side, but on the southeast side of this, there would be the threat of severe weather, damaging winds, some hail, and yes, even a tornado threat. So it's something we'll have to watch. And you can see here, the European really gets this low going, and it gets down to 977 millibars in the Great Lakes. And yes, that's even the isolated threat of severe weather all the way up into Pennsylvania. So it's something we will have to keep a very close eye on for the weekend. Then, as we get into the longer range, check this out. You can see here, we're all the way out to the weekend now. This is the GEFS ensemble. You can see above average temperatures continue, but as we head into next week, you're starting to see less reds, less oranges, a few more blues start popping up. And look what happens next week. Closer to normal temperatures, but as we advance that even further, yes, a pattern shift, and things start to go to average to slightly below average. So at the middle of the month, this month, February, it is possible we do see things change east of the Mississippi to where temperatures go back to below average again, maybe perhaps a more feel of a winter-like, and yes, the potential somewhere sees a winter storm system somewhere in the east, probably the second half of this month, at least one, because it is going to be cold enough again. The cold air is going to be available, and you can see here, I can continue this through the end of the run, and for the most part, things change. You're not above average, and things go back to being below average in the long range. So, of course, that is something we'll have to keep an eye on because it could change on future runs. But as of right now, I'm giving it a pretty good chance that things are going to swing around, if not middle of February, at least by the end of February, for a 1 to 2 week period where it's going to feel like winter again in the east. And of course, we're going to keep our eyes on that severe weather threat for the weekend. That does have me concerned that if the stronger models, the European, the Canadian, which I did not show, also is fairly impressive. If that ends up being the case, we will really have to watch it for severe weather. Of course, we will have more on that tomorrow. More on what's going on in California. If you're out there, please stay safe today. Everywhere else, enjoy the mild temperatures. Enjoy the unusually warm weather, calm weather, because in the Northeast, it's finally not raining after all that rain we had in December and the month of January. I will see you guys all again tomorrow. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe to my channel down below and share this with anyone who you think would like to see this. All right, I'll see you guys all again next time. Have a great Monday afternoon. Thanks for watching.